Hey, what up, guys? Coming to you this morning with the weekend recap from Friday, December 13th and Saturday, December 14th. There's about, I'm going to go over 4 fights. One on the Golden Boy card on Friday night, and then there was 3 on the ESPN card on Saturday. So let's first get into the fight on Friday night on DAZN, and that saw and actually there's 2 fights. I'm sorry, let's get into 2 fights. You had Alberto Machado made his debut at lightweight on the undercard. We weren't sure if that fight was still going to pop off or not. It ended up popping off. Machado came in, debuted at lightweight. He fought some nobody, got a knockout win, and makes a successful debut. Now he says he'd like to face Francisco Vargas next, older former champ at 130, who just debuted at lightweight, fight for Golden Boy. Easy fight to make. I'd like to see him progress because, a lot of the reasons they say he lost, the main reason he says he lost is because he was cutting weight, trying to make weight. He can't use that excuse because now he's fighting in a higher weight class. So he bounced back from the 2 back-to-back losses to Cancio earlier this year, and now he's looking to, make a debut in the lightweight division, which he did, and make a splash heading into 2020. I like Machado. He was a power puncher at 130, southpaw power puncher. Really brings the fight. I like him, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do at 135. Okay, now the main event from Friday night was Vergil Ortiz Jr., undefeated, highly regarded prospect on the rise, and he took on Brad Solomon, veteran. And early on, looked like Solomon was gonna give him a good fight. He's a veteran who can move, who can box, and Ortiz just caught up to him and just put the pressure on, kept landing big shots, and finally hurt him and put him down in the 5th round. Impressive performance. Knocked him out. That was the first time Solomon's been knocked out in his career. And, this guy's on the rise. We'll talk about, we'll go over the what's next on him later on. He's not a top 10 guy quite yet, but, this is a good win for him, and we'll see what he can do going forward. Now let's get into the Saturday card. We had a triple header on ESPN. I really don't care about Michael Conlan yet, undefeated guy. Bob Arum's been bringing him up and protecting him way too much, and I don't like it, to be honest. Protecting a guy on this level and making him fight absolute nobodies. He says within a year he wants to be world champion. He took on some dude that he lost to in the Olympic trials. He lost to him, and he beat him by a decision. It was basically a meaningless fight, in my opinion, in terms of overall boxing. He got a 10-round decision. He seems like he's talented, but until he steps the fuck up and fights somebody good, I don't really care how talented he is. So they're talking about him possibly fighting for a world title next year. Jesse Magdaleno is being rumored as his opponent. They're saying Shakur Stevenson. What I read something that said Shakur Stevenson and Josh Warrington are going to unify titles in the first half of the year. And then once Stevenson, who's the favorite, if he wins, he would vacate his WBO belt, and then Conlan would go after the WBO belt against Jesse Magdaleno. So that would be a step up finally for Conlan. So we'll see if that's what goes down. But he got the win on the undercard. The co-feature, maybe the biggest fight of the weekend and the biggest win of the weekend. Teofimo Lopez fucking knocks out Richard Comey in just the 2nd round. Brutal right hand, just perfectly timed, and hurt Comey bad. Jumped on him, and afterwards Comey got up, he jumped on him, and Comey just could not respond by throwing punches back, so the referee stopped the fight. Big time win right here for Lopez. He captures his first world title, and now what is next? Because he doesn't get a what's next because he did not main event this card. So here's what's next. Vasily Lomachenko. That is going to be a fucking great fight. They're going to unify 3 belts in that fight, and I can't wait to see it. Bob Arum said if Lopez won, he's going to push for a March fight with Lomachenko. Lomachenko said, I'll see you in April. So March or April, we're probably going to see these 2 guys lock horns. for the Unified Lightweight Championship. I can't wait to see it. I love Lomachenko. I think he's the best fighter right now in terms of pure talent. And him and Canelo are going neck and neck for pound. But what a performance by Lopez to come out and just knock out a tough guy like Comey, who's never been knocked out. Just drop him on his fucking ass hard, and just really make an impact win like that. Huge win for Lopez as he captures his first world title. Okay, now the main event on Saturday night on ESPN was Terrence Crawford against the Mean Machine. I don't even know the guy's name. I can't even pronounce it. But this guy surprised the shit out of me, the Mean Machine. And he hurt Crawford in the third round, caught him with that right hand. Should have been scored a knockdown. It was a bad decision to not score that a knockdown. I read somewhere people were saying he got pushed. No, he didn't. Crawford was trying to hold on, not once. That guy was throwing punches. If throwing more punches and missing pushed Crawford down, then that's one thing. But they were saying he pushed Crawford down. No, he didn't. Crawford was stumbling because he got hurt and he should have fell. It should have been scored a knockdown. It was not. But it ended up being a moot point because Crawford came out and put his foot on the gas pedal, dominated the action, and knocked out this guy in the 9th round, knocked the Mean Machine out, beat him, and retained his welterweight title. So congrats to Crawford on that win. Looking forward to seeing him back in the ring whenever. We'll go over his what's next on Sunday. But, yeah, Crawford got a nice win there, so you can't argue that. Well, what I love about Crawford, I'm just going to admit, what I love about Crawford's style, which makes him a pound-for-pound guy, is the pound-for-pound fighters, the best fighters, the pure talented fighters, they can turn it on in an instant. Crawford, he was having trouble letting that guy in the fight. Afterwards, he turned it on. He's put his foot on the gas pedal, turned it on. You saw Lomachenko do that against Luke Campbell at the end of August when they fought. Campbell was giving him a little bit of trouble. Lomachenko put his foot on the gas pedal and just shut him down. Canelo does that kind of stuff. That's what makes these guys the pound-for-pound best fighters in boxing. Now, Crawford, I've had him drop in the pound-for-pound rankings. He's 3rd for me now. But even to be in the top 3 is a big deal. And there's a lot of people that can argue him from number 1. So, I have no problem with that. But a nice win. Crawford's always fun to watch. The guy's entertaining. And he's hittable, but he's just so purely talented. And I hope he gets big fights in 2020. But we'll talk about that more when we do the What's Next on Sunday. And that's it, guys. So that was a weekend recap. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.